What's up guys, and welcome back to the Pokemon Violet Hardcore Nuzlocke, and this is going to be part 2. Now I'm sure you already know the rules by now, but just in case you don't, I'm going to throw them up on the screen real quick. Go ahead and pause the video to read them, and they will also be in the description as well in further detail. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get right to it. We're really going to pick up the pace on this one. And before we get started real quick, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Alright, picking up right where we left off, we're about to take on the second gym, but first we have to complete the gym challenge, which involves riding around town on Miraidon, collecting all of the Sunflora, and having them follow us around to bring them back to the guy at the gym. And these gym challenges are always pretty easy. At least they have been for the first two gyms. They're more tedious than they are actually challenging. But anyways, after that's completed, we head over to the gym to challenge Brassius and his grass-type Pokemon. And Brassius is pretty cool. He's got a great design. So far, all the characters have looked pretty cool in this game. But he's going to go ahead and lead with the Patillo, and we start with, of course, Staravia. Patillo's own tempo renders Intimidate ineffective. Now, we're going to see here that we're a bit over-leveled, which is crazy, considering in the last episode, we lost 2 Pokemon to a random trainer who had level 20. But that's just part of the fun of an open-world Pokemon game, I guess. And that's also why we are not playing with hard level caps. But here we go. We're not going to waste any time. We Terrasilize right away into the Terra Flying type, giving Staravia's Flying type moves a 2x boost in power. We go for the Wing Attack and one-shot the Patillo. We're really going to blow through Brassius' first 2 Pokemon. We go for Wing Attack again, and the Smoliv goes down in one shot as well. But now it's time for Brassius to send out his ace as Sudowoodo joins the battlefield. And this thing can definitely be a threat. Sudowoodo is a single-stage evolution Pokemon, which means it has pretty high stats for early game Pokemon. Not to mention, it is a rock type. We know it's going to go ahead and Terra type into the grass type. However, it probably still has some rock type moves, so we need to watch out. Terrasilizing into the grass Terra type is going to give any of its grass type moves a 1.5x boost in power. However, it's also going to make them weak to flying, so we attack with the Wing Attack and it deals super effective damage. But Sudowoodo survives, and now we've got to brace for impact if it goes for a rock type move, we're toast. But in fact, it goes for the Trailblaze, which is a grass type move, and Staravia takes it like a champ. This is a new grass type move that boosts speed. However, Sudowoodo is done for. We're still faster. Retaliate with the Wing Attack, and Sudowoodo goes down. And this gym was kind of a joke. We had the type advantage, we had the levels, and we just swept through the whole team. But going forward, the next gym after this is a totally different story. It's actually insanely hard. Just you guys wait and see. But that's it for this battle. The second gym of the game, gym leader Brassius, GG. We continue our adventure and run into a shiny Oinkologne, and it's pink like a normal pig. It's pretty cool. But I'm going to go ahead and invoke the Shiny Claws, which means any shiny Pokemon we run into are extra credit. This is not going to count as our normal encounter, so we're going to go ahead and catch this thing, but we still have another encounter left to go for this route. And Oinkologne is pretty good for early game. It's a final stage evolution Pokemon. It has an interesting ability called Lingering Aroma, not to mention, of course, it is a shiny. Next, we run into a random trainer battle, and look at these levels. He's got a level 23 Curlia, and this is only one of 3 Pokemon that he's got. Already, I'm getting PTSD from that last random trainer battle where we lost 2 Pokemon. We can't afford to let that happen again, so we're not playing around this time. We're going to Terrasilize right off the bat. We Terrasilize Oinkologne into the normal Terra type. This is going to give our normal type moves a 2x boost in power. We attack with Covet, currently our strongest move. We deal big damage because Curlia is pretty frail. However, it's not enough to one-shot, and he retaliates with the Psybeam. We take it fairly well and finish off the Curlia with one last Covet. Now, Curlia goes down, and despite us being at a 3-level deficit, this was the easy part. Curlia is super frail, but the worst is yet to come. Now, we're going to restore a bit of health from the Shell Bell here, and this Shell Bell is actually really important to this battle, and you'll see why in just a second. Our opponent sends out his next Pokemon, Zangoose. And Zangoose has a 3-level advantage on us as well. He's also faster and goes for the Hone Claws, boosting his attack, and this is super dangerous. We get off the Covet, and we better hope that this deals a lot of damage. Covet deals about half, and check this out. We restore exactly 4 HP from the Shell Bell, and this is super important for what happens next. Zangoose goes for the Slash. It deals huge damage, but we survive just barely with 4 HP. And Oinkologne is saved all thanks to the Shell Bell. Now we're able to get off one more Covet and finish off the Zangoose. Also, if it weren't for the normal Terrasilize, we wouldn't have been able to deal enough damage to 2-shot, so we were also saved by the Terrasilize here. And that was a super close call. We just caught this Oinkologne, and it's a shiny too, so that really would have sucked if we lost them. And these normal trainer battles are no joke. We've lost more Pokemon to normal trainers than we have to gym leaders so far. So we've really got to be careful of these normal trainers, man. But he's going to go ahead and send out his final Pokemon, Noibat. And this thing's no threat at all. Zangoose was the real problem. We switch to Staravia and take it out with 2 Wing Attacks. Next, it's encounter time, and we run into a Tadbulb here. I really want this thing, And remember, Oinkologne, we're going to invoke the Shiny Claws, so that's going to count as extra credit. And we're going to catch this Tadbulb here for our standard encounter for this route. And leave a comment and let me know what you think about the Shiny Claws. Do you think it's cheating or fair game? We're going to evolve it right away. I knew the moment I saw it in the trailers that I wanted this thing. It's so cool. And we evolve our Tadbulb into none other than Bellibolt. And Bellibolt has a cool new unique ability called Electromorphosis. However, unfortunately, our Bellibolt has static instead. That's just part of the Nuzlocke. We're just gonna roll with it, but static is still pretty good anyways. Now we take the time to explore the city a little bit, and while we're at it, we had to buy some drips, new clothes for our character. I finally figured out how to take this ugly hat off and buy some nice new sneakers while we're at it. Now we have to prepare for the third gym, which we know is an electric type gym. So we go for our next encounter and run into a Cyclizar, and this thing is so cool. I've been looking forward to this thing since we saw it in the trailer. So we're going to go ahead and catch it. It is Dragon Normal type, and this is a different route from where we caught Tadbulb. Just to prove I'm not cheating, we head over to East Province Area 1 where we caught Tadbulb, and the area right next to it, Area 2, is where we caught Cyclizar. They are right next to each other, and again, we're catching one Pokemon per route as per Hardcore Nuzlocke rules. We make some last minute adjustments to the team in preparation for the third gym and evolve Fido into Dashbun. And Dashbun has an awesome, unique new ability that's going to come super in handy for later on when we face Team Star. Of course, we had to evolve Diglett as well into Dugtrio. Preparing for the electric type gym, it's going to be really useful to have a strong ground type on the team. And with last minute preparations in place, we head over to the gym to battle Iono and her electric type Pokemon. What? This isn't Iono. That's right. As we enter the gym, we get stopped by our rival, Nemona, and it looks like if we want to battle the gym leader, we're going to have to go through her first. She starts with Rockruff, and believing we were about to face the electric type gym, we start with, of course, Dugtrio. We're going to take this thing out fast, and I had to show this. We go for Bulldoze, and as you can see, Dugtrio is jumping out of the ground, including the holes that it comes out from. But anyways, Rockruff goes down, Palmy comes out next, and this one's going to go down just as easy. We fire off the second Bulldoze, and Palmy goes down in one shot. And Nemona's kind of a letdown here. Did we overtrain for the gym battle possibly? We're about to find out soon enough. But this battle's not over yet. Nemona sends out her final Pokemon, Quaxlel, so we gotta get Dugtrio out of there. We're at a type disadvantage, and we switch into the one and only Floragato. And of course, Nemona is going to Terrasilize Quaxlel into the Water Terra type, and its Water stat moves will now be boosted to a 2x multiplier. However, that's not what we're worried about. Quaxwell may or may not have Flying type moves. But of course, Quaxwell is going to go for the workup. It's like our first battle with Nemona all over again. I really don't know what she's thinking here because I have confirmed now that Quaxwell does learn Wing Attack, or it learns it as a Quaxly. So I don't know why it never goes for it. Even so, it is pretty scary switching Floragato into that, knowing that Quaxwell knows Wing Attack. However, he didn't go for it, giving us an opportunity to take him out. We're going to capitalize, Terrasilize into the Grass Terra type, fire off the huge 4x effective Seed Bomb, and Quaxwell goes down in one blow. And that's rival Nemona. GG, easy peasy. Now, the time has finally come, the moment we've all been waiting for. The hardest battle in the game so far, by far, is this gym right here. The third gym leader, Iono, and her electrifying electric type Pokemon. Now, this is a blind run. We didn't know her team going into this. All we know is that she has electric types, and we are now at a disadvantage. She leads with the Wattrel, which is an electric Flying type. I thought it'd be a safe bet to lead with Dugtrio here, but since she leads with a Flying type Pokemon, our ground type moves will now be useless. Right off the bat, we're starting at a disadvantage, so we've got to make a switch out, and we go into Cyclizar. We're going to brace for impact. We got to take an attack here. Wattrel attacks with Pluck, and Cyclizar tanks it fairly well. Now, we can assume Wattrel is a physical attacker, so it's smart to go for Breaking Swipe here. We deal big damage and lower its attack as well. Wattrel retaliates with the Pluck, and Cyclizar is hanging in there. All we have to do is click Breaking Swipe again. Wattrel goes down, and that's one Pokemon down, 3 to go. That's right, Iono has 4 Pokemon on her team. It looks like Luxio is going to come out next, and we're not allowed to switch out. Remember, we're playing on set mode, so we stay in. Luxio's Intimidate is going to lower our attack, and this is not good because we are running a physical set on Cyclizar. And this is definitely scary. Remember in the last video where we lost 2 Pokemon to a standard trainer? That was Luxio. It had insane type coverage with Fire Fang and Psychic Fangs, so we have no idea what type of moves this thing's packing. For all we know, Luxio could know Play Rough or something like that, and Cyclizar does not want to get hit by that. So we're going to make a switch out, and go into a relatively safe switch here, Oinkologne. Now, Luxio goes for Bite. It's not going to deal that much damage. Cyclizar would have been fine, but we wanted to switch him out anyway to get rid of that Intimidate debuff. And we've got a plan here with Oinkologne too. Now that the opponent is no longer safe from ground type moves, we go for the Dig, and this is going to deal some big damage. Luxio misses the Spark. We come up and attack with Dig, and Luxio goes down in one shot. And that's 2 down, 2 to go, as Iono sends out her next Pokemon, Bellibolt. Now, we've got some momentum going here. We're going to stay in, and we're faster. Bellibolt is not very fast, however, it is bulky. We outspeed and go for the Dig. Bellibolt attacks with Spark, but he misses. We're going to deal some big damage here. We hit the Dig, and it deals about half of its health. However, this activates Bellibolt's Electromorphosis ability, powering up its next electric type move. We get hit with the Spark and get paralyzed. However, we did tank the powered up Spark fairly well, and our Lingering Aroma ability is going to change Bellibolt's ability to Lingering Aroma, getting rid of his Electromorphosis ability so we don't have to worry about him getting powered up anymore. With Oinkologne paralyzed, we want to get him out of there, so predicting the incoming Spark, we switch into Dugtrio. We predict right, Bellibolt goes for the Spark, but Dugtrio is unaffected. Oinkologne put in that work, but now it's up to Dugtrio to finish the job. We attack with Bulldoze, and Bellibolt goes down. And Iono is down to her last Pokemon, but this battle is far from over. It's only just begun. As Iono sends out her ace in the hole, the third gym's true challenge, Mismagius. Now, Mismagius has the Levitate ability, and you can probably guess what comes next. Mismagius is a Ghost Fairy type. However, this is the Electric type gym, so of course, Iono is going to go ahead and Terra Evolve Mismagius into the Electric Terra type, transforming it into a pure Electric type. We have to attack with Sucker Punch because ground type moves do not work on Mismagius. It has the Levitate ability. He fires back with the Hex and deals some big damage to Dugtrio. Now, we're in big trouble here because for the first time in this game, we are facing a Pokemon with no weaknesses. Pure Electric type with the Levitate ability is one of the most broken combinations in all of Pokemon. Now, we consider our normal type switch-ins, predicting another Hex, but both Cyclizar and Oinkologne are really low on health, and Oinkologne is paralyzed. So we decide to stay in here and try to get off a bit more damage. We attack with Sucker Punch, but it fails. Mismagius doesn't attack with Hex again, but rather goes for the Confuse Ray instead. And this is not ideal. We don't want to leave the fate of this battle in the hands of RNG. But we've got to do everything we can to protect our Pokemon. We can't let Dugtrio get hit by another Hex, so we switch him out for Oinkologne. Mismagius does attack with Hex this time. We predicted right, and Oinkologne is not effective. Now, Oinkologne is still paralyzed here. We're playing the RNG game here, whether we like it or not. So we try to get off some damage, but Mismagius goes to the Confuse Ray, just adding even more RNG on top of the paralysis. We'll be lucky if we can get an attack off here. The odds are stacked against us. We have to hit through paralysis and confusion, but of course, Oinkologne's attack fails. Now, I decided to stay in here because I believe in my Pokemon. I think Oinkologne can do it. That's what I always say whenever there's RNG involved. I believe in my Pokemon. You gotta believe in the power of friendship and stuff. But Iono, on the other hand, is done playing games. He attacks with a Charge Beam, and Oinkologne hangs on for dear life. Now, this is really dangerous. We're still confused, and we hit ourselves in confusion, unable to get an attack off once again. Now, Oinkologne's done all he can do, but the odds are just not in our favor. We've got to get him out of there before this gets ugly. So we switch Oinkologne out for Bellibolt. We're gonna come in and take an attack here. Mismagius attacks with Charge Beam, and we will type resist. Bellibolt is also pretty bulky, especially special defensively. Now, we're pretty safe here defense-wise, but check out our moves. We really don't have anything to hit this thing with. Mismagius outspeeds and attacks with a Hex, and despite us not type resisting, we tank it fairly well. And now we're going to go for the charge. This is the smartest play. It's going to boost our special defense and increase the power of our next electric type move. But first, we're going to try to heal up, and moves like Slack Off, it cannot be understated the importance of how good healing moves are when playing a Nuzlocke. However, Mismagius hits us with the Confuse Ray, and here we go with the RNG all over again. The Slack Off fails, and we hit ourselves in confusion. And this is going downhill real quick. We have to get the Slack Off here, or we're in big trouble. Mismagius attacks with Hex, and we're running really low on health. Now, at this point, we've hit ourselves in confusion 3 times in a row, but finally we get the move off. We go for Slack Off and heal up most of our health. Mismagius attacks with Hex again. We tank it pretty well. Remember, we boosted our special defense from the charge, and as it is, Bellibolt is already pretty specially defensive. However, we hit ourselves in confusion once again, and you gotta love it. It wouldn't be a true hardcore Nuzlocke without the worst possible RNG working against us. But I believe in Bellibolt. We snap out of confusion, and it's time to turn this thing around. We get the Slack Off off. We get the Slack off, and heal our health. But just as we manage to off the Slack, Miss Magius hits us with yet another Confuse Ray. And now we're confused once again. We're really struggling to deal any damage here. But luckily, we actually hit through Confusion. We get the Spark off, but it barely deals any damage at all. Miss Magius goes for Hex. Luckily, we're good on HP, but he lands the huge critical hit and we take big damage. Iono is definitely controlling the pace of the battle here, but luckily we hit through Confusion once again, and we're just chipping away at Miss Magius's health little by little. Miss Magius goes for Hex again, and we have to dodge the crit here. Luckily, Bellybolt takes it like a champ, but we're low on HP. And we're really cutting it close here. We try to go for Slack off, but we're confused, but we managed to get the move off just in time before we knock ourselves out in Confusion. Now, I did not plan on sending Bellybolt to war here. This is not the strategy I had planned for this battle, but sometimes you have to improvise and come up with a strategy on the fly, and that's what Nuzlocks are all about. But this seems to be working. It feels like the safest strategy at this point. This is really slow and drawn out battle of attrition, but we want to make the safest plays possible and get out of this battle unscathed without losing any Pokemon. And of course it's risky. There's risks to everything. We're risking getting crit here, but that's what we're still holding the Terrasilize for as a last resort in case Bellybolt goes down. The backup plan is to save Terrasilize for Florigato. We're just going to send him in and hit Miss Magius as hard as we can with the Seed Bomb and hope it deals enough to finish it off. But check this out. Miss Magius gets the special attack boost. This is the secondary effect from the Charge Beam, and if we let this happen too much, things are going to get out of hand and Miss Magius is going to steamroll us. We land a critical hit with the Spark, but with every passing turn, we are risking getting crit ourselves, and we are also risking Miss Magius getting another special attack boost from the Charge Beam. And speak of the devil, it happens again. Miss Magius is now at a +2 special attack, not to mention the boost it gets to its electric type moves from the Terrasilize. But speaking of Terrasilize, I say it's time to level the playing field. We're throwing all our backup plans out the window, and we're going to put our faith in Bellybolt here. We Terrasilize him into the electric Terra type, but of course we get confused again. Now it all comes down to this turn. We just have to hit through Confusion one more time, and we get the Spark off, and Miss Magius goes down. Now, hindsight is 2020. Probably should have just Terrasilized Bellybolt from the beginning, would have had a much easier time, but I think I was just really nervous. I really wanted to save it as a backup plan just in case Bellybolt went down, and it was pretty pointless to just use it on the last turn, but we got the win. That's all that matters. Third gym leader, Iono, GG. Alright, as we continue our adventure, I think that's enough gym battles for now, so instead, we're gonna go battle a Titan. We're on the hunt as we make our way up the mountain. Bombardier, the Sky Titan, appears and challenges us to a battle. We lead with Bellybolt. We knew it was gonna be a flying type Pokemon, so we have the advantage here, and we're gonna waste no time Terrasilizing into the electric Terra type. Now, these are always pretty scary because we don't know the level of these Titan Pokemon, but as it attacks with Wing Attack, it deals negligible damage, and it's safe to say that we're gonna be good here. We attack with the Terra boosted Spark, and it takes out the Bombardier in one shot. However, this is only part one of the battle. He powers up for the final stage of the battle. This is a 2v1, and we've got our partner Arvin here to help take him down. And at this point, we can see that Arvin's Pokemon is level 19, and I think this is a good way to judge the level curve of around where we should be at when battling this particular Titan Pokemon. And we are over-leveled here, and this has happened a couple times now. I'm going to start looking up the order of what you should do things in, like which gym to go to next, which Titan battle to do next, so we can better follow the level curve and do things in the order that they were intended. But we attack with the Terra Spark, it deals big damage, and then Arvin's Pokemon finishes it off. And we took down this Bombardier easy peasy, and that is the Open Sky Titan, GG. Now, as we make our way over to the Team Star base, we run into a Mankey. So this is going to be our new encounter, and in this game, Primeape has an awesome new evolution called Annihilate, and I really want this thing, so catching Mankey here is pretty cool. And this works out perfectly, because we're about to take on the Dark-type Team Star member. So we're going to go ahead and box Oinkologne and add Mankey to the team. And we have arrived to our first Team Star base. We're about to find out what Team Star is really made of. But first things first, we have to defeat the Grunt outside of the gate. And don't underestimate these Grunts. This battle was super dangerous. We almost got our whole team swept and lost 3 Pokemon in the process to this Murkrow. Just kidding. We just one-shot it with Charge Beam. These Team Star Grunts are such a joke. They might be the most trash evil team member in all of the Pokemon games. And it's such a shame, too, because the Team Star Grunt battle theme music is so good. But anyways, we make our way inside, and I actually really like this part. I think it's really cool. We have to quick battle all of the Team Star Grunts on the inside until we get 30 knockouts. But after that's completed, it's finally time to take on the boss, making a grand old entrance here out on his Pimp My Ride Deathmobile. Team Star Giacomo. Sitting atop his throne, he sends out his first Pokemon Pawniard, and we have a great advantage here with our Mankey lead. We're faster, we attack first with low sweep, and it's 4 times super effective, and Pawniard goes down in 1 blow. And it looks like his next Pokemon is his truck? Okay, this thing's a Pokemon? Looks like we're gonna have to battle it. And it's got Intimidate. Definitely not good for Mankey here, as we are, of course, a physical attacker. We are -1 attack, but we still have the type advantage. We're gonna hit him with everything we've got. We Terrasilize into the Terra Fighting type, and we go for our strongest move, Cross Chop, but we are slower. The Starmobile attacks with Metal Sound, harshly lowering our special defense, but we get off the huge, super effective Cross Chop, boosted by the Terra Fighting, but it doesn't deal very much damage at all. Now, we could be in trouble here. Mankey's special defense is lowered, and we're not dealing nearly enough damage, so we're gonna have to make a swap here. We gotta get Mankey out of there, so we switch him out for Dash Bun. Starmobile attacks with Swift, and it's a good thing we made that switch, because with Mankey's special defense being harshly lowered, he would have taken big damage. He goes for Metal Sound again, but Dash Bun's Clear Amulet prevents any stat reduction. We hit him with Play Rough. Now, this new item, the Clear Amulet, is one of the best new items in this game, and this is only the tip of the iceberg. We're gonna see later on where this item comes in so clutch for us. But the Starmobile goes down to a second Play Rough, and that's Team Star Giacomo GG. But just wait, the best part is yet to come. I had to leave this in the video to show you guys. Check this out. That's right, the game crashed and lost all of my progress since the last save. And since I don't have autosave on, I had to start all over from the beginning of the Team Star base, which isn't that bad. It could have been way worse, but still sucks pretty bad. But after beating Giacomo for the second time all over again, we waste no time and head straight over to the second Team Star base to challenge Team Star Mela and the Fire Squad. And Mela is a run killer. She is known for being really strong, so this just might be the toughest battle yet. First, we've got to battle the Grunt, and notice it is raining. This is going to give us an advantage against fire types, so we had to seize the opportunity. Notice how even the Grunt has a level 25 Houndour. The level curve is catching up, and Mela might just give us a run for our money. After defeating the Grunt outside, we make our way into the base to defeat more of the Grunts on the inside. However, the rain is gone. Unfortunately, we're not going to have that advantage for battling Mela. And out she arrives on the Starmobile, rocking the sickest outfit ever, by the way. Such a cool character design. Mela appears before us. It's time to find out if the rumors are true. Mela leads with the Torkoal, and we lead with Dugtrio. And right away, Torkoal's Drought ability activates the Harsh Sunlight. So now we no longer have the rain to help us, but we're also dealing with Harsh Sunlight, which is going to increase the power of Fire-type moves. So we have the type advantage with Dugtrio. We're going to Terrasilize right away. Dugtrio is not very bulky, so we have to hit him fast, and we have to hit him hard, and hope that we can deal enough damage to take him out as soon as possible. But Torkoal, on the other hand, is pretty bulky. We fire off the super effective Stomping Tantrum, but it's not enough to one-shot. Even with the boost from the Terrasilize, it's not enough to take him out. Torkoal retaliates with the sun-boosted Flame Wheel and deals big damage to Dugtrio. And we have an Oran Berry to restore some health, but it's not going to matter because we're in range of a 2-shot here. We have to take him out before he gets us first. Luckily, we're faster. All we have to do is click Stomping Tantrum again, and Torkoal is going to go down. Now, Torkoal is definitely dangerous, but that's not what we're really worried about here, as Mela's next Pokemon, Reverum, is going to come out for battle. Now, this thing hits super hard. It almost hits like a truck, you could say. But we don't have anything we can reliably switch into to tank the hit. Now, I'm willing to lose Dugtrio here, but we really want to get off as much damage as possible before we go down. But Reverum is faster. He goes for the Blazing Torque, and what little amount of health Dugtrio had left is reduced to 0. Not only do we lose a Pokemon, but it is revealed that Reverum's ability is Speed Boost. His speed is going to increase by +1 every turn. Now, we're not getting out of this one unscathed. We just have to make sure that Dugtrio's death was not in vain. But luckily, thanks to some good planning, we find our answer in Dash Bun. Now, you might say, Fairy's not good against fire. Why Dash Bun? Well, that's what we've got Stomping Tantrum on him for. Reverum goes for the Screech, but we prepared for this too, as Dash Bun is holding the Clear Amulet and our stats are not reduced. We go for the Workup, boosting our attack and special attack, and prepare to go on the offensive. Reverum's speed boost keeps activating, and we're just going to have to accept that we are going to be slower here. Reverum goes for Screech again, but we are safe, and we retaliate with the super effective Stomping Tantrum and deal not that much damage. We're going to have to put in some work here if we want to take this thing down. And here's the kicker. Reverum goes for Overheat, but Dash Bun's ability, Well-Baked Body, protects us from Fire-type moves. And as it turns out, Dash Bun holding the clear amulet is the perfect counter to Team Star Mela. Now he can still hit us with Swift, but it's not going to deal that much damage. It's not stab boosted or sun boosted like the overheat would have been. He gets another speed boost, but you can speed boost all you want, buddy. Speed's not going to help you here. Reveroom fighting for his life, going for another Swift, trying for a crit or something, but it's not going to matter as he goes down to the final stomping tantrum. Now we did lose Dugtrio here. That's a sacrifice I was willing to make. It's going to be 3 deaths total now for the Nuzlocke. That's just the way she goes, boys. The way she goes. But considering how dangerous Mela is, only losing 1 Pokemon to her is not that bad, and we're just lucky that we brought Dash Bun for this battle. But anyways, that is the Team Star Fire Cruise boss, Mela of Starfall Street. GG. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. That concludes part 2 of the Pokemon Violet Hardcore Nuzlocke. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. It'd be really awesome and helps out a ton. And a whole lot of time and work goes into making these videos, so I super appreciate it, guys. And leave a comment. I always love to hear from you guys. And as always, thanks for watching, and I appreciate your continued support.